wake up, I stretch, I have a cup of coffee, and then I am served with a lawsuit. Anyways, I am floored. Are you floored? Because this is just goofy. You are officially a very goofy man, Brigitte. But I got to give it to you. You've definitely got balls. Fire everybody around you, and I mean literally everyone around you who told you that this was a good idea, that this was a very good idea for you to be the first sitting first lady of a country to file a lawsuit against a journalist of another country. You are literally making history in all the wrong ways.
So we found out yesterday that Candace Owens is being sued by, get this, Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron for what exactly? If you don't recall, Candace Owens made an entire series about how Brigitte Macron isn't a woman, but in fact a man. What was her evidence based on that? It was purely hearsay. There's no real actual evidence that proves, like DNA, for example, like a blood test as well, and things that would actually allude to the fact that Brigitte Macron is indeed a man. It was just a bunch of, well, I think Brigitte Macron is a man, so therefore that's the case. Let's go with that. And here is a bunch of photos and all that sort of other stuff, which you can basically, nowadays with technology, you can change with AI, and you got to be very, very careful these days. But it was a provocative thing. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That series went gangbusters. It went viral and got a lot of people seemingly believing that Brigitte Macron is in fact a man. I don't think Brigitte Macron is a woman or a man. I think Brigitte Macron is an it. Because the main story that I've been saying for quite some time, that Candace Owens, to her little bit of credit, pointed out, is the fact that Brigitte Macron seemingly groomed a 14-year-old boy, Emmanuel Macron. That's the real story that we should be focusing on. I don't care if France has different age of consent laws or not. It's still PDF, you know what? It is still gross. It is still disgusting. And why in the world are people not talking about that more often? But hey, ladies and gentlemen, the main story for people is, whoa, Brigitte Macron happens to be a male. But nevertheless, French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife or whatever, Brigitte, are suing Candace Owens for defamation, accusing her of falsely claiming Brigitte was born male and groomed Macron. So Candace Owens, it would seem, is going to lose a lot of money in this process. And that is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. It would seem that Candace Owens, all the money she got from the series, I hope and I pray that that goes down the incredible drain of lawyers. The ones that really win in this case are the lawyers, man. Are really the lawyers. Now, if Emmanuel Macron wants to go to town on this, he can, because the guy is wealthy as. He's the French president, for goodness sake, and he's obviously got probably the best lawyers in France, I guess. Now, this is probably the first time another country, a president of another country, has decided to sue a lying podcaster of America. That is saying something. But also the fact that Candace Owens said something so outlandishly crazy with no credible evidence to back up any of her claims, that, man, honestly, I really do hope that even though I hate the guy's guts, I hope that the French president, Emmanuel Macron, goes to town on Candace Owens. But according to Candace Owens, she's going to do this for the entire world. She's going to court for you and I, ladies and gentlemen. She's not going to court to basically defend her own backside. She's going to court because she wants to prove to you guys that she was right. Even though we have proven on this show, when I say we, I'm talking about, well, me, but, and some people that, you know, I use their content and I give them credit for doing just that. But there's been a number of people that have proven, including Stephen Crowder, which I'll make another video, part 2 to this video, believe it or not. He's called Candace Owens out on her lies and her bullcrap. And I've been doing it for quite some time. But I just want to see Candy Owens get toppled off of her ever so high pedestal. A little bit of humility would probably do her the world of good. Will Chamberlain has gone. Candy Owens is going to owe the first family of France a very large sum of money. Now, people have said that this is a very bad decision from Emmanuel Macron. I was listening to the Patrick Bet-David podcast, and Patrick Bet-David was saying this is a stupid decision. Unless you know what you are doing, which I'm pretty sure they do, unless the French president has actual evidence to use, and by the way, it's a 200-something page document, court document, which lays out how Candy Owens is in fact wrong. Now, when you get into the discovery process, according to Candy Owens, she is going to bury Emmanuel Macron in lots of questions. She apparently, Candy Owens has got stacks of questions she wants answered. This is utterly ridiculous. I don't know if you guys know that the whole "you're a man" thing is ridiculous, and we're not focusing on the grooming side of the stuff. But anyway, that's me. It's an extraordinary, unprecedented step for the head of state to take against a citizen of another country. But Macron, has told friends that these allegations have traumatized it. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron, the president and first lady of France, are suing the far-right podcast host Candy Owens for defamation, among other claims. Imagine, I could make the exact same claim about Candy Owens. I could probably create a series and use AI to help me create that series of how Candy Owens is actually a man. I could do the exact same thing she just did, and I would have no credible evidence whatsoever, except I am just going off of, and I've seen it online, believe you me, there's been people out there that say, well, I could claim that Candy Owens is a man and get away with it scot-free. That's exactly what she's doing. Exactly what she's doing. Except she doesn't realize the actual harm that could befall Brigitte Macron. Now, if it comes out that Brigitte Macron did in fact groom a 14-year-old boy, then I don't care what happens to Brigitte Macron. I really don't. But I really want to find out, well, is it the case that Brigitte Macron really did groom a 14-year-old boy that would one day become the French president? That to me is interesting. Oh, by the way, the French president loves a bit of white powder. If you saw that video that I made with all the other delegates of Germany and even the UK, which was a funny thing. But anyway, this defamation lawsuit Macrons are represented by the defamation law firm of Claire Loki, which has a history of representing conservative media figures. Damn, that's very interesting. Owens has dedicated a great deal of time in the past year and a half spreading the conspiracies about the Macrons, including the airing of a YouTube series with salacious claims. By the way, YouTube is actually seemingly banned in China, and apparently Candy Owens reshared a comment saying that the guy was in China, and the Brigitte Macron series has gone viral in China. That's very, very interesting. Over the past 3 years, Owens, who has a long history of decimating, I'm not going to say that word, it's not transphobic, but anyway, has increasingly fallen into a pit of anti-Semitism as well. Yeah, well, there's a lot to say about this. There really is. And by the way, we also found out that Candy Owens is apparently a dual citizen of the UK and of America. And she's, going on a massive rage thing at the moment, saying that it's not true. She's not a dual citizen. Her and her husband don't own any property, but the family does. Yeah, the family, the farmer, they are quite wealthy. Anyway, but there's very, very interesting things, I should say, that are about to happen with this entire court case. I don't think there is really going to be a smoking gun, to be honest. It's politics is what it is. I don't think that, I know what I hope to happen, but whether it is going to happen, who knows? Is this a bad decision from Emmanuel Macron? I personally don't think so, considering they lost, even though they lost one in their own country, I believe it was, against two women. I think that was a little bit of a different case versus Candy Owens' entire series. So it would be very intriguing to see this all unfold, but I will be the first one to be, I guess, sharing information with you as it all unfolds. I can't wait for Discovery. It's going to be good. It's great content for me, guys. Let's just say that. And you. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.